the scene with this new information, perhaps the artist would portray it in a manner such as this. As the digging continued down, there was exposed, about 14 feet below the niches, a bedrock. This was a ledge extended 8 feet, about 2.5 metres out from the cliff face. And as the overlay of earth was cleared away, there appeared set into the rock a square shape. It appeared to be a plug, a stone plug. On close examination, there were found to be 2 finger niches with which to pull it up. And under that plug was found to be a post hole going down over 1/2 metre, actually 23.5 inches deep into the rock. A square hole with a plug sealing it over. We have this plug in our possession. It measures 13 inches by 14 inches. It's about 4 inches thick. Now, running out from this hole in the rock, this post hole, there was a crack. After closer examination, it was concluded that this was not man-made, but rather an earthquake crack. And there was another crack going up the cliff face itself behind this hole. Further clearing away of debris revealed that the bedrock in front of this rocky ledge dropped 4 feet to a lower bedrock, and in that bedrock were an additional 3 post holes. Now, behind the first post hole, the elevated one, a stone wall was uncovered, running against the cliff face. Further digging showed this to be the wall of a building. It went out from the cliff face as well. Poking out from the back wall, near the cliff, just behind and above the elevated post hole, was this stone, very smooth. One is reminded of an altar stone, perhaps. Now, to recapitulate what we have found here. The cliff face is here, and I've placed a dotted line to represent the position of a ledge. Coming out from behind it, extending 22 feet along the cliff, then 40 feet out from it is this building. Extending from the back wall of this building is what we are pleased to call the altar stone. In front of the altar stone is the elevated post hole, and 4 feet lower down 3 more post holes. And in front of them a roundish object which we shall consider shortly. By this time, friends, the team was beginning to realise that a crucifixion site had been unearthed, and this was reported to the Israeli authorities. To look at it from the side, here is the cliff face, here is the back wall of the building, here is the altar stone, here is the elevated platform with the cross hole in it, 3 cross holes in front. And as the dug-out earth was being piled ever higher, there were fears that it might cave back in. There was not sufficient space for piling it further away within this confined area. And then this big roundish stone began to appear. It was like a thick, rounded tabletop. The earth pile was about 10 feet over it, so subsurface interface radar would be brought in to measure it. The thickness was about 2 feet. I'd like you to remember that measurement because we shall return to it later. The diameter of the stone was found to be 13 feet 2 inches, and if you'd like to remember that, we shall refer to that later as well. 13 feet 2 inches. How old was this building? Well, friends, coins were found during the excavation of the building. The oldest of them dated from the reign of the Roman Emperor Tiberius, who was the emperor in office at the time of that famous crucifixion of Jesus Christ. That, by the way, is an imperial Roman superscription. The most recent coin was dated to around 135 AD, which is rather significant because that was the time when the Romans expelled all Jews from Jerusalem, forbidding them to return on pain of death. This dates the building as having been in use during the 1st century, the time of the early Christian church. And this would indicate that we have a crucifixion site enclosed here in the 1st century with, for some reason, this round stone. And the question arises, what is this round stone? Why is it here? If the building around it was constructed to enclose both the cross hole and now this great round stone, what could be its significance?